Hi and welcome to your English story. You are learning English. Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started. Important leaders meet. The world is watching. Two important leaders, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, and Volodymyr Zelensky, the President of Ukraine, meet. What happens when they meet is a big deal. It's about war, stopping fighting, and working together. This video tells you about their meeting in February 2025. It's a very important time for them and for many countries. Trump and Zelensky are different people, but they have important jobs. There is a war in Ukraine. It's very difficult for everyone. Many soldiers are dying, cities are getting damaged, and people are afraid. Trump wants the war to stop. He thinks he can make an agreement. Zelensky needs help to protect his country. He wants America to support Ukraine strongly. This makes their talks very serious. Why is this important? The war in Ukraine affects the whole world, not just Ukraine. Countries are watching to see if Trump and Zelensky can find solutions. Will there be peace? Will America and Ukraine work well together? These are big questions, and this video looks at them carefully. Trump likes to talk about peace. He says he is good at making deals. He thinks he can stop the war quickly. Zelensky is fighting for his country every day. He knows war is terrible and wants it to end, but he also wants Ukraine to be safe. Both leaders have ideas. Both want good things to happen, but it's not easy. This story starts with a meeting. Trump asks Zelensky to come to the White House. They talk about an agreement. This agreement is about minerals in Ukraine that America wants. It's also about stopping the war. Russia is also part of this story. Trump talks to Putin, the leader of Russia. Zelensky does not trust Putin. This makes things more complicated. You will see how Trump and Zelensky begin, what they say, and what they want. You will read about soldiers, money, and plans for the future. Some parts are happy, and some are not. This is not a story about who is good or bad. It's about real life. Trump and Zelensky are leaders with big responsibilities. They are trying to solve problems. Sometimes they agree, and sometimes they disagree. The war makes everything urgent and intense. But this video is calm. It does not support any side. It shows you the facts and lets you decide what you think. This video is for learning. Why should you care? Because it's about what's happening now. The war in Ukraine affects many places. America is helping with money and weapons. Europe is watching closely. What Trump and Zelensky do can change a lot. Maybe they will bring peace, maybe not. You will see how they try. So, let's start. Trump and Zelensky meet in February 2025. The world is waiting. The first meeting. In February 2025, the White House was ready for an important visitor. President Zelensky from Ukraine came to Washington, D.C. for his first meeting with President Trump. The world was watching closely. They had many big problems to talk about, especially the war in Ukraine. So, let's start. Trump and Zelensky meet in February 2025. The world is waiting. The first meeting. In February 2025, the White House was ready for an important visitor. President Zelensky from Ukraine came to Washington, D.C. for his first meeting with President Trump. The world was watching closely. They had many big problems to talk about, especially the war in Ukraine. President Trump started the conversation. He said hello to President Zelensky at the White House. He said it was important to meet in person. He talked about the difficult situation in Ukraine and said the United States wanted to help find a solution. President Zelensky thanked President Trump for inviting him. He spoke about the war in his country. He explained the problems Ukraine was facing every day. He said that peace was needed, but it should be a fair agreement that respected Ukraine's needs. The first part of their talk was about the war. They talked about the people hurt by the war soldiers and normal people. President Trump listened carefully as President Zelensky described what was happening in Ukraine. President Zelensky said he hoped the United States could help to end the war. Both leaders agreed that stopping the war was most important. They talked about making peace. President Trump said he believed in talking and finding common ground. President Zelensky said it was important for any peace deal to be fair and just. In their first words, there were signs of working together. Both presidents talked about things they both wanted. They both wanted peace in Ukraine. They talked about a safe and stable Europe. It seemed they wanted to work together from the beginning. After the meeting in the Oval Office, the two presidents spoke briefly to the public. President Trump told reporters, "We had a very good first meeting. We are starting to understand each other. We both want to stop the war. It will not be easy, but we will try." President Zelensky also spoke. He said, "This first meeting was important. I think President Trump is serious about peace. We still have a long way to go, but this is a good start. Ukraine wants a fair peace, and we hope to work with the United States to get it." The first meeting finished. It was just the beginning of a long and difficult process, but the first feelings were that they were willing to talk and find solutions. The world waited to see what would happen next. It was very important, and the way to peace was not clear. But the first meeting gave a little hope for working together.